Hello, welcome back. In this video, we are going to be making Garfield's artwork from start to finish without any edits. You will be able to see the full process. If you are enjoying this series, make sure that you hit the like button. Comment below that you are actually having fun and I should do more of these. What characters would you want me to create? Go ahead and comment below so I know what is it that you want to see so I can bring more such videos for you. With that said, let's jump right into the video. Hello and welcome. Let's begin. This video is going to be about drawing Garfield. Alright, I have a new layer right above my background layer. Let me go ahead and pick a pencil to start sketching. I will use a gray color, something like this. Okay, and on this layer, I'm going to be going ahead and making a broad shape, just the way I have been doing in all other process videos that we have on this channel. We have a lot of other full process videos where you can watch things at your own pace. You can check out the details in the description inside the channel. There is a playlist for no edit art videos. So here I am again following the same exact process. I'm going to go ahead and make two shapes, something like this. See, almost similar size. The head, the body, I'm going to make this shape as well. I'm going to draw two lines to indicate the shape of the legs, right? This direction, this direction. Yeah, and I'm going to use the transform tool to change the direction. In case I want to make any changes, I can always go ahead and do that. So always be open to making changes. I hope you're able to see the big circle, the circle underneath, circle as in the oval shape that I'm using right here. Okay, there is ears at the top, so let me go ahead and make shapes like this for the ear. I'm making very rough marks. If you can see that the marks are very rough, they are not clean. You don't need to be very specific at the point when you are initially starting. You can be very fluid. I'm making shapes for the eyes. If you can see, I'm making both of these shapes, which are going to be the placement for the eyes. There is the nose somewhere around there. Yeah, the eyes are kind of droopy. Garfield has this look on his face, which is a very smirk kind of an expression. Yeah, smirking kind of an expression. This is where the eyes are going to be. Okay, I'm going to add, and do not worry about making changes along the way. Don't worry about that. You can go ahead and make changes anytime. You can tweak things. I will also be doing that as I show you the process. In case something does not fit right, I will keep making changes. So this is the shape for the mouth. Go ahead and try drawing along with me so that you are at the exact same stage as I am in the process. The only downside is sometimes if I make changes, you will have to make changes along with me, but that's okay. It's all a learning process, right? So here is the shape for the face. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a selection somewhere in this area. So if I have to tweak it, in case if I have to make any changes, I can simply rotate it if it's not working the way I want it, right? Some angle to the face right here. Okay, this is the side of the face, the cheek. I'm trying to get the shape to look right. Now the body as well, adding some more detail. Yeah, this is the shoulder, this is the tummy or back area. Yeah, these are the legs, the shape for the legs. There is going to be the foot, which is going to be quite big, has big foot, and the tail is lying somewhere there. Yeah, go ahead and do this along with me. The hands are again folded in front of his chest. So this right here is the line for the one hand, this is the line for the other hand. I'm basically trying to get the parts to be in the right place first, and then I will go ahead and make changes if I need. I'm going to go ahead and change the size of the head. I think it's become too big. Let me go ahead and reduce the size a little bit, just a tad bit. Yeah, I reduce the size. The body is still fine at this stage, I guess. Yeah. So I am going to go ahead and start adding volume to these legs, this tail and everything. So the legs are something like this. The line is coming down and we are seeing that there is a thickness to this foot. Big, medium, small. This is an approach that I keep talking about. First we start with the biggest shapes, then we go to the medium shapes. Now I'm working on the medium shapes. Let me go ahead, add thickness to it. The other leg as well, let me add thickness to that as well. Add the shape for the leg on the other side, something like this. Yeah. Thickness of the leg here as well. I'm just tweaking it. I'm tweaking the shape. I'm making it slightly bigger, smaller. Nothing to worry about in case you have messed up. In case you are making changes, you can always correct things as you go along. Keep the sketch loose. You see how my hand is moving. It's not very, fixated on a particular area. Rather, I am moving all around. I'm being as fluid as I possibly can, right? Now the fingers on the legs are another thing that I'm going to add. So I'm just going to add these circular shapes, something like this. Rather than doing the edges, I'm doing the bigger shapes first, so that I'll be able to carve out the shape for the fingers. You see how I'm doing it? Please go ahead and do that the same way as I am doing it. So these are the broad shapes that are almost there now in the sense of how we want it at the end. There is a overlap happening with the foot and the leg. Yeah. I hope you are able to see the character coming together now. Yeah. In case I want to tilt the head a little bit more, I'm just making these changes so that I get a nice posture, nice pose. Right? The head is tilted, so it looks like it is actually smirking and showing some attitude. All right, let me go ahead, add a thickness for the hand. You see that I had made a direction. Now I'm adding the thickness for the hand, and it is folding over the other hand, so it is going to go something like this. Let the sketch be messy, don't worry. Let the sketch be absolutely messy. It is completely fine. The shape, I think now you can see that it's almost there, the entire design for the character. I can maybe tweak a little bit here and there. There is an option called liquify. Okay, if you can use liquify, increase the brush size and push and pull things around. This is a nice little trick. If your sketch is not looking proper, if it's not looking as you want it, then you can always push and pull. So I'm using the push tool here. There are other tools inside of this. I'm not using any of them. This will basically allow you to push and pull the entire shape in whatever direction that you want, and don't do too much like this. That will kind of spoil it. You don't want that to happen. Make slight adjustments, just a little bit. Now that you have access to a tool like this, don't overdo things. If you overdo it, it will not look nice. The thickness of the leg, I have increased it slightly. If you were to do it on paper, probably you will be using an eraser, going back and making changes, etc, etc. Here you go. Okay. What do I do now? So I have the rough sketch almost there in place. The next thing for us to do is going to be to add the outline. Okay, let me go ahead and reduce the opacity a little bit and create a new layer on top by hitting the plus icon. I'm going to go select the brush and set it to dark, absolutely black color. Yeah, and now is the time for me to go ahead and pick an inking brush and go ahead and start making the shapes. How do I do that? I can use the ability of Photoshop, which allows me to clean up the layers. I hope I'm working on the correct layer. Do not do the sketch on the same layer on which you did the rough sketch, or the inking on the same layer as you did the rough sketch. It will be a difficult thing to solve. You will be stuck with the sketch and the line on the same layer, and that's a difficult thing to solve for. You'll have to do the line or inking again. You don't want to do that. So be very careful what layer you're working on. That's the only precaution you need to take. In case you make any mistakes on this layer, it's completely fine. You can make changes. That's not going to become a big problem. Make sure that you keep an eye on what layer you're working on. I have faced a lot of problems in the past where I was working on the wrong layer. A lot of time I spent and then go back and see that I made it on a wrong layer, and it kind of becomes a huge problem. reworking, changing those things, etc. Yeah, I'm changing the thickness of the line with the pressure that I'm applying. Yeah, and here is the line that I am making to get the ear shape to be right. I'm trying to make the lines seem as seamless as possible. I hope you're seeing how I'm moving my hand, how I'm making these shapes, etc. This is the beauty of using Photoshop. If you can see, sorry, not Photoshop, Procreate, you can see that the shape kind of autocorrects. You can see that the shape becomes absolutely clean once you let go of the pen. So that's a nice little thing that the application allows you to do. I go forward and do this and try and adjust the shape as much as I can. It basically, you can hold on to the shape that you have created after you have made it, and it will correct it for you. If you're unhappy with the shape that you have made, you can always go back and make changes, so don't worry about that. I'm going to go make another attempt here. Yeah, something like that. Now there is a part which I do not need because the shape had to be proper. I used it, and now I'm going to go and erase whatever I do not need. There is a nose which is in front of the eyes, so it's going to cover part of the eyes as well. So I'm going to make the shape something like this, and again we'll use the same method, erase parts which we do not need. If you are working on a paper, you're probably using a ink pen, and be very careful with your lines and be very cautious as to how you are making them, because in case the line passes over another area, it can completely spoil the look of the piece. So this is the advantage of working digitally. I'm going to go ahead and add another shape, something like this, a shape here, something like this. Yeah, this is giving us the shape of the eyes. Now going to add the shape for the cheeks. Yeah, on this side as well, I'm going to go ahead and add the side of the cheek. Yeah, the mouth, this is a shape for the mouth, comes and connects inside the nose somewhere there. There is a slight fold in the corner of the mouth. Same thing I will do on this side as well. If you notice, I am rotating the canvas in whatever direction I feel fit, and I'm getting the shape to look as I want it, without too much hassle. If I was stuck with one direction, it can become a big problem. I do not want it to be only in one direction that I'm making those lines, because sometimes we are more comfortable making a line in a certain direction. So this is something that I have spoken about in the other previous videos that we have made as well. So I would rather not do that way. I would rather leave it at that and probably bring this line and make it complete here. Now coming to the body, I'm going to be continuing doing these shapes. There is some amount of work that's remaining to do patterns on the body. That's also something that I'll speak about, but let me go ahead and do this and you can do along with me. Now these shapes that we had made for the leg, these round shapes that we had created, I'm now going to go and add a little bit more cleaner lines, the final lines that we need, and this is going to become our guiding sketch, so to say. So first thing I'm going to do is this finger comes up something like this. The other fingers are going to go like that, not going to be completely circular like we started with. I'm only going to use that as a guideline to create the sketch for whatever, or the outline for whatever is the ultimate line that I need. And then I'm going to go and finish the shape something like that. Yeah, you can now see that the sketch is kind of coming together. Same with the tail as well. The same technique for fingers on the other side as well. Now there is a few set of hairs that are present on Garfield's design, so I'm going to add them. I'm making the size of the brush slightly bigger, and I'm going to come from the outside inwards or maybe inside out and use the pressure to make the shape something like that. Let's do the other way around. See how with the pressure I'm able to change the size of the brush, and with that I'm getting this very clean looking shape. The other option is always to go ahead and make the shape and fill inside and stuff like that, but I am doing it in a quicker fashion using this pressure sensitivity that we have of the brush. Yeah, the same exact technique we are going to be using to make the pattern on the body. I'm going to be doing that. You can go ahead and do that along with me. Just pay attention to how I'm doing it. Wherever you have a need, you can pause, rewind, watch it again. So here it goes. On the entire body, there is a pattern. Let me go ahead and paint that and you can follow along. If you notice the way I'm doing it, I am putting pressure to change the thickness, and starting from the edge inwards, I'm going ahead and adding these shapes. Just notice that they are going in the direction in which the body is turning, right? Even the tail, if it is straight, the lines are straight. This part is quite satisfying actually, to be able to do something like this. That I think concludes the entire sketch part of things. There is a little bit of a shadow that I can create under the feet. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Now let me go ahead and hide the rough sketch, and now you can see that the sketch for the character is with us. It is looking clean, and it's going to be a super simple process to fill color inside of this. All I have to do is set this to reference, make a new layer, bring it underneath it. The color that I'm going to pick is going to be slightly yellow, orange, brightish color. Here we go. I'm going to go fill the color in another area as well, here, 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 and here. So we have the color for the skin almost taking shape. Now something that I'm noticing is there is the color which has entered the area which is supposed to be the area for the mouth region. So that is a different color. We are going to make changes to that, nothing to worry about. This more or less completes the entire design of the character. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead, make a selection. Now this is an approach that you can follow, or probably you can use simple brush to fill the color. That's always an option. I've been using painting using dragging and dropping the color completely, but you can always go ahead and remove the reference from this layer, create the reference on this layer alone, and now make a shape which kind of completes the borders of the area in which you want to add the mouth color. Simple way is this. I mean, essentially, if you want to fill color in any application, you can make the border like this and drag and drop the color and it will fill it inside of that. Yeah, let me do that once again. Here you go. Do the same thing the other side as well. The last and final thing remaining in this is going to be the nose. A small little pink nose that the character has. Okay, the reference is set to another layer. Let me go ahead and set this to reference. Now go ahead and fill the color and done. That's it. We have Garfield, the character, done and ready for you. In case you want to add a background, you can always do that. Say, let me go ahead and fill white color in the eyes and add a background to this. Filling in white in the eyes, right? And now I can go ahead and change the color of the background. If I want to make it something like this, a bluish shade, I can do that, and you will be able to export this, save it as you want it, and use it wherever you need. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will bring you more tutorials like this. Keep supporting, like this video if you enjoyed the process. And like I always say, stay strong and keep creating. I'll see you in another video. Bye bye. Take care.